Hey folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Yash Dubal's Book Club. The book we are reviewing today is Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as if your life depended on it. This book has been authored by Chris Voss, who was formerly an FBI negotiator at Quantico. I'd come across this title several times and I always used to try to understand the meaning of it. What does the author mean by never split the difference? Like if I go to a restaurant, I would definitely split the difference between my friends. But that's not how these people at a higher level of intellect think. So here's what I understood about the title after reading the book. During a negotiation, the human brain inclines towards meeting somewhere in the middle. However, this doesn't work most of the times. So the author states a very nice example to it. Let's say a husband and wife are arguing about which color of shoes to wear for a party between black and brown. Now if they decide to meet somewhere in the middle, the husband may end up wearing a black shoe in one leg and a brown shoe in the other. Certainly that isn't going to go well, because that's what happens when you meet in the middle. None of the parties get satisfied. So basically you get the point, yeah, fine. So what exactly comprises successful negotiation? The author states emotional intelligence plus tactical empathy. Your aim is to build trust and not to bully. Empathize and help them see that solving your problem will solve their problem too. He has nicely written, as I have worked with executives and students to develop these skills, I always try to reinforce the message that being right isn't the key to a successful negotiation. Having the right mindset is. The author then insists on being an active listener. Try to understand what the other person thinks. But most of the times we tend to be passive listeners. We filter through things and listen to what we want to hear, and then try to rush to formulate replies in our mind while the other person is still talking. So how can active listening be done? It can be achieved by mirroring. What does that mean? So whenever the other person is ending his statement, try to mirror those last 3-4 words and begin your sentence with those words. That way it will convey a message that the person is actually being heard by you and not just listened by you. This helps in building trust. And then follow it by tactical empathy. Understand someone's perspective and vocalize your emotion through a third person phrase. So when you use active listening plus tactical empathy plus mirroring and labeling, you earn "that's right." Those two words are very crucial for a negotiation. That means that you have successfully connected to them at an emotional level, which sets your negotiation environment. Creating unconditional positive regard opens the door to changing thoughts and behaviors. Humans have an innate urge towards socially constructive behavior. The more a person feels understood and positively affirmed in that understanding, the more likely that urge for constructive behavior will take hold. That's right is better than yes. Strive for it. Reaching that's right in a negotiation creates breakthroughs. Use calibrated questions. Ask open-ended how and what type of questions, like how do I do that? Or what are we trying to accomplish here? Successful negotiations are all about understanding that the emotions of the other person plays a huge role than facts and figures. Connect at an emotional level. There is a theory that argues that people are drawn to sure things over possibilities, even when the probability is a better choice. That's called the certainty effect. And people will take greater risks to avoid losses than to achieve gains. That's called loss aversion. That's why people who statistically have no need for insurance buy it. Or consider this, a person who's told he has a 95% chance of receiving $10,000 or a 100% chance of getting $9,499 will usually avoid risk and take the 100% certain safe choice. While the same person who's told that he has a 95% chance of losing $10,000 or a 100% chance of losing 9,499 will make the opposite choice, risking the bigger 95% option to avoid loss. The chance for loss incites more risk than the possibility of an equal gain. Then the author talks about 7, 38, 55% rule. Complicated? Let me simplify it. At UCLA, a couple of psychology professors came to a conclusion that only 7% of a message is based on the words, while 38% comes from the tone of the voice and 55% from the speaker's body language and face. And finally, to conclude, the author says, please remember that our emphasis throughout the book is that the adversary is the situation and that the person that you appear to be in conflict with is actually your partner. Most often, we humans tend to logicalize things and complicate them. No. Being an active listener holds utmost importance. Having said that, thank you for listening to me. See you in the next one. Take care.